and I'll be taking you through the presentation this evening. I'm hoping that I'll be able to answer all your questions with regards to how do you plan for my career? That's for the grade 9s. What subjects do I need to choose? And hopefully we can assist you to map a way forward. Starting point, grade 9s. Okay, my slides are not moving. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can go forward. There we go. Grade 9s, this evening is all about you. And there are a few very important questions you need to be asking yourself. And the starting point for you this evening is going to be self-reflection. You need to be asking yourself, what are your abilities? What is it that you're really good at? What personality do I have? You need to figure out what type of a person you are. What are my interests? So what exactly is it that you enjoy doing? And lastly, what are my ambitions? So what is it that you really desire out of life as well? We use Hollard's career theory to elaborate a little bit with regards to personality traits. Please go online, visit Hollard's theory there online, and do a little bit of research to narrow down the type of personality that you have. So Hollard breaks down personalities into 6 categories. He's got the investigative there at the top. So here he's speaking about the people that are structured, organized, and careful. There's also the artistic. These are the very expressive, creative, and visual people. The social, they are very helpful. They enjoy working with people, they're very friendly, and they enjoy communicating there. Enterprising, you're looking at the influential, the energetic, sociable, and usually those tend to be your leaders. Confidential there, it's actually meant to read conventional. These are your structured, organized, careful people. And then you also have the realistic people that are very practical, hands-on, and enjoy doing work with their hands. So as an individual, we usually have 3 dominant traits there, and using this Hollard's career theory, you could map out the best possible career for you to follow based on your personality. At WITS University, we also have the Counseling and Careers Development Unit. This is where we have psychologists that could also assist you with career assessments. If you'd like to be in touch with our CCDU department, their email address is info@ccdu.wits.ac.za, or you could also give them a call on 011-717-9140. At this present moment in time, I would advise you just email them and see if you could get an online assessment if needs be. Moving on. It's also very important to do a little bit of research with regards to what's happening in the world around you. The 4th Industrial Revolution is upon us. The world is changing at such and it's rapidly evolving actually, with technological advancements popping up from all angles. So you need to understand what the global industry trends are. All right, so to assist you there, you're looking at things like government norms, consumer behavior, technological advancements within the specific industries that you're hoping to go into. Before we look at the tertiary institution, let's look at what you need to do with regards to occupational research. So now you narrow down the various industries. Say you want to go into the medical field, right? You want to become a doctor. Hopefully you're going to be opening your own practice, but before you do that, you need to get employed within a government hospital. What skills is it that they're looking for from you, all right? In the near future, they say, we're going to be having machines or AI and all these advanced equipment doing operations on patients. So as a doctor, will your medical degree be adequate for you to actually operate in that environment? All right. So these are the questions that you need to be asking yourself. The world is evolving. Where will I fit in? What skills do I need to present to my future employer? So that's the occupational research that you need to be doing, as well as job shadowing. Very important. Some of you might say you want to become doctors until you go out there and actually job shadow a doctor. You might come back home and decide, no, this is not for me. So go out there, do a little bit of job shadowing. That's obviously only after this whole COVID-19 pandemic, but job shadowing is very important. I am here from WITS University, and I'm going to be talking about tertiary institutions, compulsory subjects, and the minimum requirements that you need to meet for the various degrees. But before we talk about your minimum requirements, let's look at the types of educational institutions that are available to you. You've got your FET colleges, which are basically your further education and training colleges. Universities of technology, so they offer your certificates, your diplomas, as well as degrees. We are a traditional academic university, meaning we don't offer any certificates or diplomas at undergraduate level. You have to meet minimum a bachelor's pass for WITS to consider you for anything that we offer. There's also the private institutions. Start doing a little bit of research to find out what are the minimum requirements that they require from you for you to study in any of these institutions listed here. The types of matric passes, also very important for you to understand at this level already. You've got your bachelor's pass. For you to receive a bachelor's pass within your NSC or IEB final results there, you need to have passed 4 subjects with the rating of a level 4, which is 50 to 59% or more from your designated subjects there. Diploma pass, you need to have passed 4 subjects at a minimum of a level 3, which is 40 to 49%, but I'm sure no one here this evening is aiming for that. Your certificate or your higher certificate pass there, you just need to have passed your matric examinations. Now we're going to be getting into the application information, and I'd like to touch a little bit on the competition for space. At WITS University this year, we received about 69,000 applications into first year only. And out of that 69,000 applications, WITS could only take in 4,900 first year students. I'd like you to keep this slide at the back of your mind. Meeting minimum requirements will not guarantee you a place into WITS. You have to exceed the minimum requirements that WITS is asking for from you. So grade 9s, the hard work will not start in matric. The hard work has already begun. Okay, choosing your program. So WITS University has 5 faculties with 33 schools and over 3,000 degrees. So there we've got the Faculty of Commerce, Law and Management, Faculty of Engineering, Health Sciences, Humanities, and the Faculty of Science. Before we talk about your minimum requirements, I'd like to also just show you how WITS calculates points. The grid that you see in front of you right now is unique to WITS University. A few things I'd like to draw your attention to. If you look at the first 3 columns over there, NSC or IEB scale of achievement, NSC or IEB percentage, and column number 3, that's your WITS APS column. If you score anything less than 40%, looking at column number 3, WITS University will not award you any points. As you can see, you're sitting on zeros. So we start giving you points from 40 to 49, where you're sitting on a level 3 according to the NSC and IEB, that's also a level 3 at WITS. Your distinction, according to NSC and IEB, is for students that have scored 80 to 99, or let's call it 80 to 100%. That's your level 7. If you look at columns 3 and 4, WITS University has broken down that percentage bracket into two. A level 7 at WITS University is for students that have scored 80 to 89, but should you manage to score a 90 up to 100 in any of your subjects, excluding life orientation, you will be awarded 8 points and not 7 points at WITS. English and mathematics are scored separately in column number 5. You will be awarded 2 bonus points for each of those subjects if you score 60% or more. So if you'd like to activate 4 bonus points, please ensure that English and mathematics are sitting on nothing less than 60%. We also give you points for life orientation in the second last column over there. We start giving you points for allo from 60%, where you've got 1 point. But between 90 and 100, you have 4 points. All your other subjects are all scored separately in the last column. At WITS University, we use 7 subjects in calculation of APS points. You've got your compulsory subjects that you need to meet for you to obtain a bachelor's pass, and these are mathematics or maths literacy, English, additional language, life orientation. Then we will consider the next top 3 subjects. The next 3 subjects are all dependent on the degree that you choose to study. So now we're going to start looking at the various faculties. And the first faculty that we are going to look at this evening is the Faculty of Commerce, Law, and Management. If anyone here is planning on going into a business-related degree, you have 2 compulsory subjects, and these are English and mathematics, and these 2 subjects need to come in at a bare minimum of 60%. So if you're planning on going into degrees like human resources, marketing, accounting, politics, philosophy, and economics, you need to come in with 39 APS points. If you're planning on going into degrees like accounting sciences, that is your straight chartered accountancy route, or economic sciences, students need to come in with 42 APS points, English minimum 60, mathematics minimum is 70 there. LLB, if you want to study law, WITS has 3 law degrees. The straight 4-year LLB, the BCom law, and the BA law found under the Faculty of Humanities. All 3 law degrees at WITS University require that you come in with 43 APS points. BCom law is the only one that requires that you come in with pure mathematics. So English and maths for the BCom law, you're looking at around 60% or more. But for you to achieve 43 APS points, you need to be aiming for 70% and above in all your subjects. Your 4-year LLB, we will consider students that are doing maths or maths literacy. Not everyone needs to go into a health sciences degree or an engineering degree. You need to understand your own strengths. You need to understand your own capabilities and choose subjects that you know you're going to do well in. If you do well in those in high school, then you're going to push up your APS points and increase your chances of you at least getting accepted into WITS. So the LLB, 43 APS points, generally to go into the LLB, aim for 70% and above in all your subjects there. The next faculty that we're going to have a look at this evening is the Faculty of Engineering and the Built Environment. If anyone here aspires to become an engineer, you have 3 compulsory subjects at WITS. These are English, mathematics, and physical science. Generally, these 3 subjects need to come in at a bare minimum of 60%. I must tell you this. No one made it into any of our engineering degrees this year with less than 70% in those 3 compulsory subjects. So you remember the competition for space, the 69,000 applications and 4,900 spaces. The higher you score, the better your chances of getting a place at WITS. So aim for 70% there in English, maths, and physical science if you're planning on going into engineering. So at WITS, the type of engineering degrees or the various specializations that we have include aeronautical engineering, chemical engineering, civil, electrical, industrial, mechanical, metallurgy, as well as mining. We also have 2 cross-faculty degrees. These are biomedical engineering as well as digital arts. Biomedical engineers make tools as well as technology for the medical field. Same compulsory subjects as any other engineering degree. English, maths, physical science, minimum is 60%, sorry. Biomedical engineering, this is one of the degrees that you could use to also branch into medicine once you're done with your 3 years. So you complete your 3 years in biomedical engineering, you apply into what is known as the graduate entry medical program. If you're taken in, you could start medicine in 3rd year. Digital arts. So our engineering science specializing in digital arts is targeted at students that want to go into industries, or let's call it specializations like game design and animation. Same compulsory subjects there. 42 points, English, maths, and physics, minimum is 60. If a student wants to go into engineering, but they're struggling with physical science, we still have degrees that do not require physical science under engineering. These are urban and regional planning, construction studies, property studies, as well as architecture. Generally, you're looking at about 36 points with English and mathematics at a minimum of 60% for those 4. I know architecture says 50% in English and maths, but I can almost guarantee you, you will not get that place if you only aim for 50%. Next faculty is the Faculty of Humanities. So under the Faculty of Humanities, we cater for everyone. Whether you're doing maths or maths literacy, it really doesn't matter. Under the BA, we've got specializations like media studies, politics, psychology. You could even go into law. There's so much that you can do. So under the law degree there at WITS, under the BA, 43 APS points. English is minimum 60. Mathematics, we will take it at a minimum of 40%. Maths literacy at a minimum of 50. And then your straight BA degrees. The main difference between the BA law and your BA degrees is the APS points. So BA law is 43, and your straight BA degrees with whichever specialization that you choose to take, you need to come in with 34 APS points. English is your only compulsory subject there at a minimum of 60%. We also have 4-year professional degrees that include a BA in digital arts, dramatic art, film and television, fine arts, as well as music. You will require 34 APS points with English at a minimum of 60, but you also have additional requirements depending on the program that you choose to go into, but we will guide you on your additional requirements at a later point within your high school career. So for example, those of you that would like to pursue a degree in music, over and above meeting your minimum academic requirements there, you could be asked to come in for an interview, an audition, or even to write an assignment. So those are the additional requirements that I'm alluding to there. Education, we've got the foundation phase, the intermediate phase, and the senior phase. So for the foundation degree, these are all 4-year, and for the education degree, these are all 4-year degrees. 34, no, it's actually gone up. It's now 36 APS points. The foundation and the intermediate phase, starting this year, we will be considering the students' mathematics or maths literacy mark. So if you're planning on going into teaching, I know, yes, in the past, we never used to take mathematics or maths literacy, but for foundation and intermediate phase, commencing this year, we will definitely be looking at your mathematics or maths literacy mark there. And then the last 3, speech and language pathology, audiology, as well as social work. These are the only 3 degrees that are outside of the health sciences faculty at WITS that require students to write the NBT. I know this year we have suspended, or current matric students are not required to write the NBT, but by the time that you get into matric, please remember, we do require the NBT for speech and language pathology, audiology, as well as social work. The first 2 there at the bottom, speech and language pathology, as well as audiology, require pure mathematics. Social work, we will take you whether you're doing mathematics or maths literacy there. Health sciences. This is the one faculty where we do not calculate an APS score for students. We use a composite index. It is made up of 50% coming from your score from the national benchmark test, and the other 50% coming in from your top 5 subjects. So those 5 subjects must include English, mathematics. We only have 2 degrees that we can take you in with maths literacy, life science and or physical science, and your next best subject. Next best subject can be geo, it can be accounting, it can be anything there. Please give me 1 minute. I have Miss Nicola Ferreira on the phone. No. You're joking. Oh, wait. Are you joking? So what do I do? Okay, let me try and log back. Can I quickly just share my screen before you go? Can you see my screen? Okay, let's do that again. Okay. Lovely. Let's see if can you see my screen? I'm sharing my screen. Are we on? Please. Nothing? No PowerPoint? Okay, let me try and do it again. Is it on? It's on. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'm really sorry about the interruption, but I guess this is our new normal. Technology will fail us from time to time, but I'm back on. Now we're going to have a look at the health sciences faculty. Just to recap, the health sciences faculty does not calculate an APS score for students. We take you into the health sciences faculty based on two admission criteria. The first one is we look at your score from the national benchmark test. So that's your NBT. It makes up 50% of you getting a place. The other 50% comes from your score from your top 5 subjects. These 5 subjects must include English, mathematics, life science, and/or physical science, and your next best subject. So if a student is only doing one science subject, for example, life sciences, we can still consider them for health sciences. We will then look at the next 2 best subjects that they have. It can be accounting and history. It can be geo and drama. It really doesn't matter. Choose subjects that you know you're going to perform well in, over and above your compulsory subjects there. We have 2 degrees under the health sciences faculty where we can take in students that are doing maths literacy with a science subject. These 2 degrees are oral health sciences and clinical medical practice. So all this information is available on the WITS website as well with regards to what you can study. But just to go through a few of the degrees. So at the top over there, we've got the Bachelor of Health Sciences. We've got the biomedical specialization. So those of you that want to go into medicine, I must say, I think this year we had about 12,000 applications for 230 spaces into medicine. So that's the level of competition that you face to go into medicine. So you need to find alternative courses that you could use to still branch out into medicine. And that biomedical specialization there is one of those options. Biokinetics, health science systems there, pharmacy, medicine and surgery, dentistry. Please note, dentistry requires both your science subjects. It does not say life science and/or physical science. To go into dentistry, it's life science and physical science. Physiotherapy, oral health sciences, clinical medical practice, nursing, as well as OT there at the bottom. You need to be aiming for 60% and above in all your subjects. But I must say, if you're planning on going into medicine and surgery, try and aim for the 80s and the 90s because of the level of competition that you're going to find there. Same with dentistry. And now the last faculty that we're going to look at this evening is the Faculty of Science. Under the Faculty of Science, there's different specializations with different minimum requirements. So you've got your general BSc there at the top. It's a 3-year degree. You're required to come in with 40 APS points, English at a minimum of 60, and mathematics at a minimum of 60. I won't go through all of them. I'll pick a few. We have one of our new specializations there. Okay, so they didn't list it here. So one of our new specializations is a double major between geographical sciences and computer sciences. So we call it geospatial sciences. You are using technology to solve the problems that are faced by geographical scientists out there in today's world. We have another interesting one there at the bottom, actuarial sciences. You're looking at 40 APS points. English must come in at a minimum of a distinction. Mathematics must come in at a minimum of a distinction. Physical science must come in at a minimum of a distinction. So depending on what you'd like to specialize in under the Faculty of Science, your minimum requirements differ, but generally, most of the degrees here require English, mathematics, and physical science. All right, in closing, grade 9s, I hope this information was useful to you. remember that no matter what degree you choose to study or career that you choose to follow, the hard work will not begin once you get into Matric. The hard work will not begin once you get into WITS or Harvard or the university of your choice. The hard work has begun already. You're not going to be choosing subjects because your friends are choosing that subject or because you really love this teacher, so I'm going to follow her subject. Remember to follow your passion. Remember to analyze your own abilities and capabilities. Become the best you that you possibly can. In closing, should you have any questions, I would rather you email them over to the school. They can forward them over to WITS, because calling WITS at this present moment in time, no one will really pick up the phones, but we are working on emails. So I will be available to answer all your questions on email. Thank you so much. Okay, are we going to be taking questions? Hi, Nicola.
Hi, so we've got one question around the quota system and if it's on.
Okay. So I've got Miss Nicola Ferreira with me on the phone. Sorry about that. It's simply because I cannot really see the questions, so she'll be helping me take the questions. So the first question that she's posed says, do we use the quota system for all our degrees? And the answer to that is no. So WITS doesn't necessarily use a quota system. So maybe let me try and break this down to you. It's only under the health sciences degrees where we need to follow government regulations. So we need to make sure that the student population that we accept into those degrees there also represents the population of South Africa. Will you allow me to maybe just take my WITS hat off for a minute so I can share a personal experience with regards to this whole quota system? Can I do that, Nicola? Are you?
Absolutely.
Can I do that? Okay. So, for example, my little sister in 2015 applied into medicine, right? So, little sister, she's female, she's African. So I thought, wow, she's at the top of the list. She's definitely getting in. And she came out with 5 distinctions in the compulsory subjects that she needed to go into medicine. Did very well in the NBT. But the problem was she never got the place. So I genuinely went back, to health sciences and kind of wanted to find out what extra stuff did she need to do to get this place. And so we use a basket system. So out of the 200, let's call it 230 spaces that we take into example medicine, for argument's sake, they will say we're going to take in 40 African students, call it 30 white students, 30 Indian students, 5 international students. So it's a basket system. So there will never be a chance where an African student will take a place of, call it, my Indian or my white students. So the Black students are fighting for those 40 allocated places for the Black students amongst themselves, the white students in their own basket, the Indian students in their own basket, right? So my sister, coming in from Herschel, never got a place purely because another student coming in from let's call it a disadvantaged school, so a less resourced school, came out with similar marks to hers. So then the question was, so you're going to disadvantage her because she's coming in from a resourced school? And not necessarily. So one of my colleagues from health sciences just said to me, Zoe, go home and ask her. Come the time that she's done with medicine and we have to place her in a rural area, would she be happy if we threw her in rural Limpopo? You know? So I got home and I asked my sister without telling her the background of the story. She was on the floor laughing at me. Only then did it make sense that I think Wits made the right choice. We need doctors who are ready and willing to go out to these impoverished areas to help out. So you need to also just be sure, am I going into medicine because I really want to help? Because I believe that under health sciences, all those degrees are generally a calling. So yes, it's not a quota system, it's a basket system. Quota system will say we want 80% black students, but basket system, you cannot have a, a different race jumping into the next basket, if that makes sense. So they gave it to someone coming in from a less resourced school, hoping that once they're done, they could go back home, help the communities. They've got the support structure. They can speak the language of the people in that area. So that's why, we are trying to spread out the skills as much as we possibly can.
Thanks, Zodwa. We have
Okay.
another question. What subjects do you need for architecture?
Okay, so for architecture, your two compulsory subjects are English and mathematics. So whether you're doing physical science or not, we can still consider you under architecture. English and maths.
Perfect. We've had a couple of questions around whether the presentation will be shared or if it can be.
No, so the presentation cannot be shared. It's WITS. No, so all this information that's in the presentation is available in the WITS prospectus as well. If you'd like me to, I can come and drop off some guides for you and you can share with the grade 9s. So I've got pocket guides, I've got the full guides, I can drop that off for you and you can distribute it. It's literally the same information.
Absolutely. So it's another question. What subjects do you need for political science?
Okay, so you can do political science under a BCom. You can also do it under a BA. Remember, all your BCom degrees require pure mathematics, right? So why do BCom degrees require pure mathematics? This is because you're going to be doing commerce subjects, which have modules like statistics, accounting, finance, which all have a bit of a mathematical background. So if you're good in mathematics, you can go into a BCom, politics, a PPE under the BCom. If you're struggling a little bit with the mathematics, you can take it under a BA. You don't need to come in with pure mathematics there. We will take you with maths literacy.
Perfect. Another question, what is the difference between the different law degrees?
Okay, brilliant. So let's break it down this way. BCom law, BA law, straight 4-year LLB. Your BCom and your BA law are all 5-year degrees, right? Within those 5 years, BCom law, you're going to cover your 3 years of your BCom degree, and you already start taking up your law subjects, I think it's from year 2. So to complete your BCom law, you need to study for 5 years, and you walk away with your 2 specializations. BCom, which is your business-related subjects, plus your full LLB. So we just wanted to have well-rounded lawyers that have something to fall back on should they decide they no longer want to practice in law. So BCom is business. BA. Now, the nice part about choosing to go into a BA law is the fact that you can choose your own specialization to double with your law. But your double major comes from the Faculty of Humanities. So what do I mean by this? Students come in and take psychology together with law because they want to become criminal psychologists. You can come in and take politics together with law because you want to become the next public protector. So your double major under the BA law comes from the Faculty of Humanities only. Under the BA law, we can take you in whether you're doing maths or maths literacy. Remember, Tuli Madonsela did her law degree at WITS. She didn't need to come in with mathematics. And I think she did a brilliant job out there as a public protector. So not everyone needs to do maths. Play your strengths, take the subjects that you're strong at. The LLB is the 4-year straight law degree. There is no double major there. All you're doing is law, 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 law. That's the difference.
Okay, perfect. Another question, what subjects do you need to do sports science?
Okay, so that falls under biokinetics. Biokinetics falls under the Faculty of Health Sciences. You need to come in with English, mathematics, life science, and/or physical science, and your next best subject.
Okay, perfect. Then we have another question. What do you need to do to be able to do astrophysics?
Okay, astrophysics falls under the Faculty of Science. I think you need 43 APS points there. English minimum 60. Mathematics is minimum 60 or 70. Physical science as well, minimum 70. So it's English 60, maths and science should be minimum 70.
Okay. I'm not 100% sure you'll be able to answer this question. It asks which degrees in the institution need physics in architecture. So I think the question is asking which institutions offer architecture and you need physics.
Oh, good Lord. I would lie. No, I wouldn't be able to answer that one. Well, and I don't think the other institutions would want me to answer.
Yeah, I think for that question, if that person can maybe go onto the different institutions' website.
The website, maybe.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
We have another question. Which subjects do you need for psychology?
Okay, so psychology falls under humanities. So you're going to apply into a BA degree. BA, all you need is 34 APS points. Your only compulsory subject there is English, and it must come in at a minimum of 60%. So remember, to obtain a bachelor's pass within your NSC, English, mathematics, maths, literacy, LO, then you can choose whichever other subjects you are strong at to make up your 7 subjects.
Okay, another question. What subjects do you need for a career such as occupational therapy?
Occupational therapy falls under health sciences. Under health sciences, we require English, mathematics, life science, physical science, and your next best subject.
Okay, perfect. Okay, another question. If you do not meet the APS score for a specific degree with your grade 11 results, but your final grade 12 results do meet the requirements, will you be able to study that particular field?
I'm impressed with your grade 9s. Hey, they're already doing their research. Well done.
Awesome.
Okay, so the application process. Everyone applies to WITS University using their grade 11 promotional report. Even if, are they all grade 9s? Because now I don't want them not to work hard in grade 11.
It's open, so it's possible that this will be
really hard
from a different grade.
It's open. It could be a matric. Grade 9s, work hard, right? Matrics, please do not stress. If your grade 11 marks didn't meet the minimum requirements for what you want to apply into, still apply. Your grade 11 results are only used for application processes. We just want to have you on the system. As soon as the final IB and NSC results are released, we get them directly from the Department of Education. And as long as I have you on the system, I will have access to your final results. Without you applying, I cannot access your final results. The final decision is based on your final matric results, so don't stress. Still apply.
Absolutely. But just keep in mind, you might meet the minimum requirements with your grade 12 results, but because the competition is so fierce, you might not get accepted. Yes. So it is important to get above the minimum requirements.
Oh, I cannot stress that enough. Hey, yes, 100%. Please.
Yeah.
No, you saw the statistics.
Okay. Last question. Okay, 2 more questions. What subject do you need for electrical engineering and how many points are required?
Okay, so for all our engineering degrees, we used to have, for example, civil engineering 36 points, electrical 40 points, chemical 42. That's changed. All our engineering degrees for first year have the same minimum requirements. Why is that? You are all doing the same first year modules. So first year has now been consolidated, it's generic. So for all our engineering degrees, including electrical engineering, students must come in with 42 APS points. English, mathematics, physical science, bare minimum of 60%. No one made it into any of our engineering degrees this year with less than 70% in those 3 compulsory subjects.
Okay, perfect. So again, the minimum isn't, it's just a minimum. You need way more than the minimum to get into.
You need way more. I think for example, the students that went into aeronautical engineering, I think the minimum we took in there, I stand correction, but must have been 80% in English, maths, and physics. So definitely, the higher you score, the better your chances.
100%. Okay, last question that I have here is which architecture degrees need physics?
So at WITS, our architecture degrees do not require physics, but all our engineering degrees will require physics. So architecture, if you're good at physics, take it. It will push up your APS score. If you're not good at physics and you're good at geo, take geo. It's going to push up your APS score.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about the APS points, isn't it?
Okay. That's it. Meet your compulsory subjects plus your APS score.
Perfect. Okay, so I don't have any more questions. I did see that somebody asked for those pamphlets, so absolutely, if I would love to have pamphlets.
Can I drop them off tomorrow? 100%. I'll come through to the. I'll drop them off tomorrow.
So thank you very much, Zadwa. It was really super interesting. I see a lot of questions, a lot of people really thinking about their future, so that's phenomenal. And I think ultimately the message is you need to get higher than the APS points to guarantee your position, and be 100% sure that you're choosing the right subjects for the degree that you're choosing.
That is vital.
Okay,
absolutely.
Perfect. So thank you very much for your time, and hopefully we'll see you next year.
Hopefully, and we hope we get back to our usual normal, so that I don't get logged off. And
okay.
All the best. Thank you, moms and dads. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Hi, Nicola. See, she cancelled out, not realizing.
Okay. I'm still live on my side.